Hi, it's Ashleigh from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and welcome back to my channel where I make a lot of cake and cookie decorating tutorials, as well as give the occasional business tip, because let's be honest guys, I haven't given business tips in a while, but I am getting back on that horse. I want to start off by saying that I am using American buttercream today, which is normally not my choice of buttercream, but because this is a very small cake, I like to use American buttercream when I don't want to make a big batch of something. If you want to know how I make my American buttercream, you can check out this tutorial in the right-hand corner. I am using an edible frosting sheet, which is probably the best and easiest way to go for this because it already comes with that acetate at the back, so it makes it very, very easy to cover up that message and protect it from the buttercream that's going to go on top. I already pre-crumb coated this cake. Again, if you want to see how to crumb coat a cake, check out this tutorial in the upper right hand corner. I am using some edible pen on here. You could easily just use a regular piece of paper. The only thing that I would be careful about is maybe putting another piece of acetate behind there so that you don't get any buttercream leakage into the paper. So my first step is I'm going to peel off that acetate, and then I'm going to place that frosting sheet on there and then actually put the acetate that originally was on the back on the front so that it protects everything. In hindsight, I really should have put a little bit of buttercream behind the frosting sheet just to make sure that it sticks, because it does make it a little bit trickier when you're trying to cover up this piece with buttercream. There was a little bit of slippage I had, and I was worried that when I took the message off, it wouldn't actually be in the correct spot. Everything turned out fine, but I should also mention that American buttercream, if you don't work with this a lot, it does form a crust. So when it forms a crust in the refrigerator, it does get very dry and then nothing really sticks to it. So it's always good just to have a little bit of buttercream on hand in the same color so you can adhere that secret message. The most important part of this message cake is you want to make sure that you remember what direction the message is going in. So I really had to consciously tell myself that that little piece of acetate was sticking out to the left the entire time so that I could make sure once the big reveal happens that it's all aligned properly. This was a challenge, my friends, trying to coat this cake smoothly while that flap is sticking out. Now, I probably could have done it if I was really, really keen on having a super smooth edge, but I decided to go for a more textured look just because that is what I have been seeing with these cakes in general, because as we know, a bento cake is actually supposed to be super, super quick in terms of decoration. Here's a business tip. Haven't given one of these in a while, but bento cake should be super, super simple in design, because if you're making a bunch at once, you want to be able to bang these out quickly so that you turn a profit. I was definitely having some font problems on this day. I haven't piped in a hot minute, I must say. As you guys know, I have a lot going on in my life, but we are back to piping and I'm going to get even better, faster, stronger. However, I don't know. I wasn't feeling the script. I needed the messaging to be ultra clear about what it is that I actually want in life. And what I want is to be able to erase past mistakes. So there you go. So easy to just get rid of that writing, and because I was just using a slightly darker blue, it really melded well into the buttercream. I've seen a lot of bento cakes where they just leave it at that really kind of simplistic design, but I decided to just add a few flowers because I had a lot of buttercream, so why not? And then for a little bit of extra something, I decided to add some edible pearls. Have fun with it. Have fun with your bento cake. Do whatever it is that you desire. I decided to add on some polka dots as well. Again, when I have extra buttercream, I just always feel like adding more and more and more. But I know that some people really love simplistic. So if you like simple, just leave it at that. And I thought this turned out really cute, especially because I finished it at 12 in the morning. And then when I saw it the next day in the natural light, I was like, oh, good. It does look cute and relatively even. But word of caution, if you want a cute video of you revealing your bento cake message, probably don't do it one-handed, because then you end up with this slippage, because obviously the cake is quite light because it's very, very small. You can store this cake in the fridge just like you would with any other cake. I found that it did not compromise the secret message inside. And like I mentioned, this was a content cake, so I did have some fun with it. And you'll be seeing the results of that in an upcoming video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading whenever I feel like it, which apparently feels like every day right now. So be sure to hit that notification bell so you do not miss another video. Be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye.